Hello and welcome. Today I thought I'd try something a bit different. So this is going to be about Cities Skylines. Uh, and instead of just playing the game, I thought I'd try to recreate a real place. And the real place I want to recreate is Swindon in the UK. Um, I currently live in Swindon, so it's where I call home at the moment. And if I were to try to sell it to you, I would struggle. The best thing I can say about it is it's a good place to go somewhere else. It's got good road connections, rail network, airports aren't too far away. Yeah, so they're not going to hire me for the tourist board information. So anyway, back to City Skylines. So yeah, you might have heard of Swindon before, or at least one part of Swindon, which is the notorious Magic Roundabout. Actually, here is a video someone else made earlier, Biffa. So I don't know if anyone's seen this before. This is an actual road sign in Swindon showing the Magic Roundabout. 5 mini roundabouts connected together. So it's not just Biffa, some other YouTubers as well have attempted to recreate this arrangement with varying degrees of success. So in time I will also have my own go at doing this. I think I've seen some flaws in other implementations and I don't think they capture quite the spirit of it. But anyway, that's something for much further along. The question then, of course, is how do we actually get Swindon into City Skyline? So the obvious way is you go to Google Maps here. No, I don't care about the golf course. That's a good point. There's no golf courses, as far as I recall, in the vanilla City Skyline, but we'll worry about that later. This is Swindon as it appears on Google Maps. So this is the central area. It's the main road nearby is this one here, the M4. So this is a three lane each way highway, and this is a 2-lane highway each way, which is also obviously an important road as well, and everything else inside is relatively smaller. So how do I get that into City Skyline? I have to say this is not the first time I thought of doing it, and this is what happened the last time I thought about it. Yeah. Now, people who know Swindon might recognise certain features, but the proportions are basically wrong. I did this by eye, and the shape is kind of there, but everything's in the wrong place, and the water is just totally overboard. There's not nearly that much water around that you could see. I mean, this is supposed to be Lydiard Park, and on the real map, if I go back to it, yeah, it's a lot smaller. Similarly, there's this lake, I can't remember the name now, my mind's gone blank, Peatmore, and Kirkwater here. So I made that way too big, and that's kind of the right shape, but still a bit on the big side. So to connect it up, I put some waterways in, but they basically don't really exist. It does make me wonder, actually, where does the water actually go? I don't know. And that's something else to worry about later. So I'm not going to actually implement a new map yet, but my chosen method is I'm going to literally get some transparent something. If I got some transparent film off like a screen protector or something that's big enough to cover my monitor, or worst case I can always get some cling film. So I think you can guess what I'm going to do then is I go to Google Maps, I can get a marker pen, and then I can trace over the main roads, maybe some of the more major inner city ones as well, the water features, the locations of as well, that's important, and from that I can build up from there. Well, that's the plan anyway, so I think I'm going to stop here. That's the basic outline of what I want to do. So next part is actually doing it, so that'll be for the next part. Look at it, isn't it beautiful? A masterwork of penmanship. Yeah, I wish I had more than one colour marker, but yeah. So that's what I consider the main roads and also the railway lines. And I kind of put in a few water features, but I think they're realistically just too small to show up. It's not even worth bothering at this scale anyway. One thing I have made a mistake on is I did put some corner markers off the map boundaries in a map editor, and actually I'm going to actually focus slightly left towards the left side of the area I marked here, because that then could include some of Royal Wootton Bassett as well, which I think is more interesting than whatever that is. I have to say I'm a bit biased towards this side of Swindon anyway, since this is the side I live on. So to me, this area, dragons be there. I don't know what's over there. So Royal Wootton Bassett is also where I used to work, so I'd like to include that. So these are the corner markers here of the map area. At the I just hope I can line up the zoom again, because if I can't line up the zoom, this is all going to go wrong anyway. I'm not making the scale exact. I think I read somewhere that each tile in the map editor was 2 kilometers, and the scale I had on my first attempt was approximating that. This one is a bit more arbitrary scale. I haven't used the scale on the map at all, and I'm just sort of winging it that this is what I could fit in that map area. The other thing I will have to do at some point is I'm going to have to download a mod. I have currently only played the game vanilla so far, never use a mod, and I believe you can only have so many tiles active in the unmodded game, so if I want to exceed that I'll have to find a mod to let me do so. And obviously to recreate this I will need the whole map. Okay, I guess my next step is I'm just going to fill in a few more roads around Wootton Bassett, and once I've done that it's over to the map editor. Okay, let's try to create the new map. I haven't tried using the themes before, so I have no idea what this will come out like, but UK is in Europe, the continent, if not the political structure anymore. Left-hand traffic is checked, so that matches how things actually work here. And here we go. Obviously you're not going to be able to see the map I have on screen, so that ain't gonna make it easy for you. I'm just trying to line it up roughly where I can put it, and yeah, I think that's about the right place. I'm just going to put some new markers on the screen so that I can line it up again in the future if I need to. The annoying thing, of course, is I have to do this in one session, so I can remove the filter and use my PC for other things. So I have to finish this in one, well, not necessarily in one go, but I have to finish it, basically. So already I'm really wishing I had one-on-one colour here, because there's a lot of lines. I think if I do the rail first, that might give me a good baseline to work off. Now, can I do the freeform one and just, right, I have no idea how well this will go if I just click it. Oh, it's a bit bendier than I thought it would be. It's going everywhere, isn't it? Yeah, that's the other problem I have now, which is I can't see the rail I just put down because it's underneath the red marker line I have on overlaid on screen. And if I shift like that, I can see it. I think that's a little bit too wiggly, but close enough. And oh, this is going to be a pain. Can I get it to overlay again? That's close enough. I'm not going to change it. So somewhere there, I'll have to clean this up later. But the rail forks there, and it goes kind of up this way. Can I make it bend over a little bit more that way, then a little bit that way? that's kind of working out a bit better than I thought. And that then goes off the map. And the other part of the fork, and this is where I'm going to actually struggle because I've got so many roads and things here. I think it goes this way. I mean, obviously nothing's set in stone. I can always try and clean it up laterwards. Laterwards? Later or afterwards. Make my mind up, one or the other. And was one of these roads or one of these rail? I got one going up and one going across, and I don't know which is which. That'll do for now. So that's a rough outline of where the rail goes. Now if we go to 3-lane highway, is that a symbol saying, oh, that's needing the mass transit? It doesn't really matter, I got all the DLC anyway. Oh, show fog. That makes it a lot easier. Right, so the main road I have to deal with now is the M4. So it starts... Is that drawing? Yes it is. Is it? I can't see it. It's going... Well, it's going wherever it's going, but it's not where I want it to go. It's a bit too bendy. Can I undo that one? I suppose the difficulty here is I'm zoomed out quite far, so it's a bit hard to see where things go. I'll have to join it up later. I can't work at this level of zoom. That'll do, I think. I mean, this won't be 100% exact, but I'm just going for like close enough, I suppose. Oh, of course, it's interfering with a rail there. I'll have to do something about that later. And my cling film is all crinkled here, so I'm not entirely sure where it goes, but I'll again clean it up later. So that's the M4, or at least one direction of it. So now we need the north-south road, which is 2-lane. I'll just go one direction for now. Did that work or not? Or am I too far down? Is there like an invisible thing there? Alright. I'll just have to do... I'll just do this part for now then. Is that the rail there? That's the rail there. So let's start the other side of it. I'll have to use some proper junctions later. I don't know how they actually work in real life, if they go over or under. So I'll have to work it out. Whoop, where did that go? I'll have to finish that again later. So that's the... I can't remember the road name already. I don't use that one so much. The A420, I think. So just again, just a placeholder so I know roughly where it goes. The inner city routes are... Now which road is which, I suppose? This road I think is an urban 2-lane each way. This doesn't have the urban roads, it only has the highways, so it's not the right road, let's put it that way. I know the roads I'm going to put in now will not be the right roads I really want to use, because I guess they don't really intend you to use this map editor to put in all the small roads. They only want the major roads, but I have to do it now, otherwise it's going to be a real pain to try to get roads in roughly the right places. So again, this is more like a placeholder, just to get things in the right place, roughly at least. So I'm going to use the one lane each way national road to do the rest of it. So this is the Great Western Way. It's not quite bending quite enough, and now it's bending a little bit too much. Maybe again, I can always smooth these out a bit better later. And over the railway line, or should it be under? I'll have to worry about that later. Now I've got a bit of a wiggle on the map here, but I don't actually know where it goes. I'm going to stop there. I've got another road going there. Ooh, it's a bit, I don't know how close I want to follow the bends. This is really inaccurate now. It's bending way too much. Again, I don't think I need to be too precise. It just needs to be roughly where it should be going, and I can always, I'll have to replace these roads anyway, so I can clean it up then. Okay, this is the one that goes by not Coatwater, Peatmore. And it kind of rejoins, I need a bit straight out, it rejoins about there. This is the one that goes through West Swindon, close to where I live. This one, mostly a placeholder again. And that one likewise, and yeah, I'm going to have to turn on infinite money, I think. It's going to take a load of fixing up. And that joins this, and this side. Oh, that's interesting, because this is off map. I have to fix this before I finish with map editor. And that goes off there. Where haven't I done yet? So there's a road here. Oh, it's going to take a load of cleaning up. Yeah, that's lazy enough. And a slightly curvy one down here. What else have I or haven't I got? So there's going to be a junction here at some point, but it'll go down there, then that goes down there, tees off about there. Up again, not too bendy though, please. And that goes under. Yeah, my penmanship wasn't the best. I got some stuff going around here. It does wiggle around a bit, but again, I'm just going to put placeholders in, so at least it'll give me some guidance. And this row, through Wootton Bassett. Is that the railway line? Yeah. And that goes down there somewhere. I've only got a limited number of external connections anyway, so I can't connect all these roads up. So the only roads going outside the area will be the two ends of the M4, and I think I will do this one, which would go to Oxford, and this one going towards Cheltenham and Gloucester. This one is relatively minor. I mean, I don't know what I can do with it, but I'll have to make it go somewhere but not go anywhere at the same time somehow. Let's get some water features in. Yeah. I mean, the problem I have here is I only want the tiniest bit of water. I mean, even cut water, it's not too tiny when you walk around it. But on this map scale, it's going to be the tiniest blob. Because let me just save it for now. So I'm calling it Swindon 2. Really original names here. This is a recommendation. I haven't got any water yet. I haven't done highways yet. The train track I will be doing. Yeah, shipping is not going to be a thing for Swindon. We are very much inland here. The nearest sea is, I don't know, 70... Well, I don't know how many miles, but let's just say it's more than 30 minutes drive. It ain't near. At least one plane path connection. Can we do planes? Having said that, yeah, Swindon is not known for air connection. It's near to airports, relatively speaking. Or, correction, it's near to major airports. There's at least, I would say there's 3 international airports within an hour or so from Swindon. Give or take traffic and where you're going. But there's not actually a airport as such in Swindon itself. Oil, nope. Forest, kind of. I'm going to put some trees down, but it's not going to be a huge amount. Fertile areas, I'm going to have a think about that one. I'm not sure there's any significant farming as such. I think there's low density farming, but it doesn't hurt, I suppose. And ore areas, I'm not aware of any significant mining in the area either. Or I could just be totally ignorant. Maybe there is and I just never noticed it before. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look at what other roads I have or haven't done yet. So let's just finish that first. So I've got another road indicated here. Oh, yeah. That's a bit better. Yeah, the trouble is when it goes a bit wobbly, it really goes wobbly, doesn't it? I haven't done the one that cuts across there, have I? No, I haven't. That will do. Just get rid of that. So done that one, done that. I haven't done that. So this will be interesting. Can I get it to bend enough? I do find it difficult to get the correct amount of bend when using that. So done that. I'm not going to do that. The water I'm not sure about yet. That's railway, so no, I don't want to put a road on it. I was a bit unsure about the rail connections there, but it doesn't really matter, I suppose. So we got this stuff going on. I'll just do another road here. I'm going to take a slight liberty because it does join on to itself more or less. So I'll join it up later. And close enough, I think. My hesitation about putting water in is it's going to be such a small amount, it's not really going to add up to much. Oh, the other problem that you may or may not have spotted is there is no elevation whatsoever on my map at the moment. Now, Swindon isn't the most, shall we say, hilly area, but there is one notable hill that I should put in, which would be somewhere around here. So this is Old Town, and yeah, there's a hill there, but I don't know exactly where the high ground is or where the low ground is, so I'll have to look it up and see if I can implement that in some way. And I still haven't done the water yet. I think I'll end this here. I'll tidy up the connections and roads and rail and everything else and junctions in my own time. And the next time we see this, maybe I'll actually start an actual real city in it and see where we can take it from there. Thanks for watching.